Today we are going to talk about very important topic, burnout in the name of passion. In academia, we always heard that passion is what gets you through a PhD, that if you love your topic, the rest will follow. But what happens when that passion starts burning you out? When the love you started with begins to feel like pressure? This is unwritten rule number 5. Academia glorifies burnout, but healing is part of the method too. At the beginning of your research journey, you pour yourself into the work. You stay up late. You take on tasks without pay. You say yes, even when you're exhausted. You tell yourself this is what dedication looks like. But behind the scenes, the system keeps whispering, if you're not overworked, are you even serious? And yet the costs are visible. A recent 2024 study from Sweden found that 7% of PhD students received medication or a diagnosis for depression and 5% for anxiety in a single year. That is significantly lower than what earlier surveys reported, but still higher than in the general population of similarly educated peers. And here is the most important part. The decline in mental health was linked directly to the time spent in the PhD program, not before, not after, during the PhD. So if you have been feeling the weight, you're not imagining it. It's real, it's measurable, and it deserves to be talked about. Let's talk about burnout. Well, burnout doesn't always look like fire. It's always not dramatic. It doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it's quiet. It looks like rereading the same line for hours. It feels like being surrounded by books and still feeling behind. And sounds like your own voice asking, why am I doing this? And yet the pressure continues to perform, to publish, to show up as if nothing is wrong. But the internal cost is real. Well, you're not broken, you're burnt. And it's time we call it what it is, burnout. There is nothing wrong with loving your work, but passion shouldn't cost your health. When passion becomes a reason to ignore your body, your relationships, and your peace of mind, it's no longer sustainable. You can love your topic and still need a break. Being serious about your research, you can still say no. You don't have to collapse to prove you care. If academia won't protect your health, then you have to. And this isn't just about individual well-being. When researchers are overworked, entire projects suffer. The work you do matters, but how you do it, it matters too. You have to reclaim your rhythm to combat this burnout. You don't need to quit your PhD. You just be more aware to reorganize it with intention. You should hold yourself with more care and do not push yourself harder. You don't need to earn your worth through exhaustion. Burnout is not a badge of honor. It's a signal, one that says something needs to change. Rest is not the opposite of research. It's part of it. And healing is not a distraction from your goals. It is what makes them possible. So slow down and find your rhythm again. Start small, step away from urgency. Write without rushing. Try this. At the end of each day, write down just one thing you're proud of. Not for output, but for showing up. Make space in your week for stillness. Turn off the noise, even if only for an hour, and let your mind breathe. These aren't time management hacks. They are quiet acts of resistance against burnout. You are allowed to protect your peace while pursuing your dreams. So, burnout doesn't mean you are not cut out for research. It means you have been holding too much, too long, without enough room to breathe. And passion, real passion, was never meant to cost you your health. You don't need to prove your worth through exhaustion. So you're allowed to rest, Step back and return at your own pace to be a scholar and a whole human being. Let this be your quiet permission to slow down, to begin again gently, and to know that healing isn't the opposite of research. It is part of it. I'll see you in the next episode. Until then, stay curious, stay kind, and stay whole.